Welcome to Biblical Christian Content, where we like to keep the content biblical. Let's go.
Serving, giving, and stop looking in the mirror and stop being self-absorbed, self-giving. But then there's some practical things also. It's my job to feed my family. And it doesn't matter, like in the rougher times when Heartcry was first starting out, working construction, doing all these different things, hours a day, coming home at night, whatever I had to do to put food on the table. That's my job. If someone's going to stand in the door and going to hurt my family, it's my job to stand in the door. Mm-hmm. It's my job to take the brunt of everything this world has to throw at my wife and my family. You know, and my dad would just, you're going to be tough.
Yeah.
If you don't die, you're going to be tough. My sons were raised by a preacher.
Yeah.
And they were homeschooled, so they weren't knocking about in football or rugby or this or that. And so I had to create scenarios, physical scenarios for them. I made them work from the time they were little. They lifted weights. They learned how to fight. They did all these things because that's part of, when my sons marry, I expect them to do everything they have to do and be everything they have to be to protect that woman that they've married and to protect their children. Mm. And so there's all kinds of things that go into that. Mm. And we have to realize that, we want to know that there's a noble and righteous government. We want to know that all these things are in place to protect us. But the responsibility I have is above all those other things, to care for a wife. It's one of the reasons for all my illnesses, everything else. It's to destroy that. We're not talking about some carnal strength or discipline or he's got muscles, coming out of his ears. I want a man who loves so much that he will just lay down his life. And he's not, if I would say the greatest cause of weakness among young men today is self-absorption instead of sacrificial love and service. That's what will make a man defy armies. When bolder, bigger men turn tail and run, that little puny man who loves will stand his ground. He loves Christ. Yeah. And someone will say, are you afraid? Yes, I'm afraid. There's been so many times I've been so afraid I didn't know what to do. What keeps you in those moments? Because you're going to face enemies that, it doesn't matter who you are. This is not the movies. They're going to take you down. And what makes you stand is not that Krav Maga. What's going to make you stand is you've been conformed to the image of Christ and you love.
And as you said, act like men is a biblical command.
Yes.
Something